So, as we get into talking about the cast, the first thing I really want to do on the commentary is give you a full cast list. And there's a cast list that obviously comes alongside each of the videos, but that's only for everybody's main roles. And so I want to give you a full cast list that accounts for every bit of dialogue you hear throughout the entire project. Because, there are little itty-bitty roles that everybody filled in for. Nobody does just one role in the cast. So to start with, for instance, Kelly Huddleston plays our main female role, Emma Skye. She also plays Mia Fey in just a few little bits of dialogue that Mia has, and both in Phoenix's uh, ghostly assistance and I guess also in his memory. She's pulled pitched down a little bit on that and given a ghostly delay. And she also, in the third day of gallery, there's three separate occasions when the gallery kind of pitches in. You get these random lines from people just watching the trial in the gallery. On the third day for the gallery, she is the second voice you hear. She is the offended woman. They might have sent an innocent man to his death. So that's all Kelly Huddleston. Kristen Hansen plays Lana Skye. She also plays the priestess, the one that we hear in Maya's little epilogue scene. Maya afternoon training is about to begin. That's Kristen. She also plays two separate roles amongst the gallery lines. On the first day for the gallery, she plays the Valley Girl, the very first line that you hear. What's with this case? And then she's also on the second gallery day. She's the mother shushing the little girl. Then next we have Halleck Beals, Skip Beals. Skip is the nickname that those of us who know him from college call him. Skip plays Jake Marshall, and he also has, I think, the most sizable non-main role, which is the Chief of Detectives, which was him doing a kind of a nasally voice, actually, and then I pitched it way down, and what was weird about that is when he kind of went up a little bit to do this nasally voice, and I pitched him way down, and the result ended up being this kind of honestly, the voice kind of sounds a little like Jeff Bridges to me in a weird way. So that was kind of a neat thing. That's Skip's roles. He played Jake Marshall and he played the Chief of Detectives. Next is Ariel Hartman. She plays Angel Starr. She also plays Maya Fey. She's Maya in the in that little epilogue scene. That's her pitched a little up. And then she also got pitched way up to do the little girl that we hear in both the first and the second gallery days. Mommy or Prosecutors Bad People. That's her going even high. She went even higher with her voice, and then I pitched her up even higher so that she would sound like a little itty bitty girl playing that role. So that's Angel. That's Angel Starr doing Maya Fey and the little girl, all Ariel Hartman. Next we have Cooper Holmes. He plays Mike Meekins. He also, on the third day of gallery, he plays the first voice we hear, which is a guy that sounds like, I guess, a big, fat, black guy. Cooper is African American, but that's him pitched way down, suffice to say, because he is not big and fat. So that's his other role. He plays that the big fat black guy in the gallery on the third day. Next we have Eric Satterberg. He plays Dick Gumshoe. He also plays the detention guard in Lana's very first scene, the one's getting castigated by Lana a little bit for letting Phoenix and Emma in. And then he also, on the second gallery day, the second voice we hear, this kind of goofy, lisping guy, that is also Eric. Then we have James Meddock, otherwise known as Bones. That's his nickname that some of us call him. Bones Meddock. James played the judge. He played the judge, which is a very, very different voice from his normal voice. Actually, then he also did Angel Starr's boyfriend, the officer that was at the scene of the crime in the prosecutor's parking lot. That's about as close to his normal voice as I think he does in this project, because the judge certainly isn't that. So there's the judge, there's the officer, and then he also does, on the first day of gallery, he does the hick, the guy who's the guy that sounds like kind of an Ozarks Hatfield McCoy type. Then we have Tim Stanford. Tim plays Damon Gant, Police Chief Damon Gant. He also plays the friend of Gumshoe's, who's another police officer. When Gumshoe is showing that he's obviously got some friends in the department, is like, hey Dick, keep up the good work. That's Tim too. And then there's also our ghost cast member, our surprise cast member who's not actually listed, and that's Brian Malott. Brian is another Chapman Theater grad, like most of us, but he wasn't in the cast proper because he actually wasn't originally in the cast at all. He was just actually there one day when I went over to Tim's place to record him for his retake session. Actually, Brian was just hanging out there. Bizarrely enough, it was nice seeing him again, and it was actually fairly early on in the recording process, and so I was like, "Hey, Brian, you want to do a voice real quick?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And so I had him come in, and he does one of the gallery voices on the second day of gallery. He's the cowboy in the very beginning, not that prosecutor again. That's Brian Malott. That's our unlisted cast member. And then I suppose I should go through my roles. That's me, Alex Weitzman. Oh, yeah, whatever. Anyway, Alex Weitzman, me. I played Phoenix Wright. I played Miles Edgeworth. I played Goodman. I played Bruce Goodman in Gant's little flashback. That's me pitched down. I did the bellboy, which is me. I did kind of a low nasally voice, not too dissimilar to like Waylon Smithers, I guess. And then I pitched it even down further. When you pitch a voice up or down, it tends to make it sound very different from what the original voice is. So it's a good trick to use to differentiate voices when it works, when it's something that can work for the character. And so that's something I did for the bellboy. And then I also played two of the different gallery voices. On the first day of gallery, I did the voice that can only be described as Christopher Walken, which was totally just me, just kind of thinking to myself, what am I going to do for this line? I'd assigned it to myself, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. How do I make sure this doesn't sound like somebody else that you already hear in the game? And I was like, screw it. Christopher Walken. He's in everything. So Christopher Walken has his own little cameo in Phoenix Wright Rise from the Ashes. And then also on the third gallery day, the very last voice you hear, I did this kind of hysterical Kids in the Hall Kevin McDonald voice that I then pitched up even higher so that it really started to sound kind of like a woman. So the hysterical woman, that's the last voice you hear on the third day of gallery, that's me doing that woman. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the full cast list for Phoenix Wright Rise from the Ashes.